Hi, g'day. My name is Stian Vedam and I'm the FitBiz Rebel. Today I wanted to give you a quick feedback on exactly who I am, where I've come from, and all my struggles that I've had to face to get my fitness business exactly where I wanted it to be. To give you a bit of my background, I started my business in 2008. I had the same struggles as you are facing currently, where I started off by doing mostly youth conditioning type of training. I did some courses through the IYCA and those type of certification institutions. From there, I started by working out of the boot of my car. Or the trunk out of my car. I literally drove from one school to the next school and even to people's houses where I really wanted to help children get better at obviously their sport or just in general performance. I literally drove 100, 200, 300, sometimes 400 kilometers during a day just to go from the one client to the next client. From there, I started doing a little bit of personal training at a gym. I worked there for about 2 months, but it didn't really work out because I had quite a lot of clashes with the owner of that business. From there, I started working in a coaching type of environment for another guy at a couple of schools where the same story. I struggled with him. He wanted me to run the business, but I wasn't exactly happy with how he was doing things. So from there, I said, you know what, I'm going to start my own business and I'll do things on my own. It was really, really tough in the beginning. For about a year and a half, I did things on my own where I just literally drove around Johannesburg trying to get to the different clients and different people's houses. From there, I had a look at a facility where I opened my own facility in 2010, which was only about a 100 square meter facility. I was there for about 10 months, struggling along with no other coaches, just mainly doing things for myself and also working at the university where I did some strength and conditioning for the under 19 rugby team. From there, I approached my old high school, wanting to get my foot in the door. They didn't really want to give me an opportunity in the beginning, but when they heard that I was doing some stuff with a local university, they offered to give me a chance to show what I can do. But I did all of this for free. I didn't get it paid for it at all, but I was willing to do this just to get my name out there and show that I knew what I was doing. At the same time, I had my own facility, but you know what the thing is it was still small. It wasn't going well as yet because I couldn't really afford any equipment and I didn't really have there was like a small little office space just with a nice mat, like a martial arts type of mat, where I was offering boot camp style training, which was mainly body weight. After about 10 months in that facility, things were going quite well. I was starting to get my name out there. And the one day I drove past a very big facility or open space and I went in to go have a look at it, which was 410 square meters. This was at about November in 2010. I was lucky enough to organize a deal with the landlord, and from there we moved in to the new facility where I'm still at. It was about 4 years now that we've been here. My membership has grown from, I would say, about 30 people up to about 187 we were at now. We started off with just youth conditioning. I'm now offering three different programs. But yeah, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't easy. It's been a struggle. Only last year, that's 2014, things really started going in the right direction. But up until then, I've made millions of mistakes. I really struggled. A lot of the times I had to put debt on I'm still paying debt off on my credit card for trying, to get the business up and running, where I've been studying a lot of different things. I'll be honest with you, I studied general business, I've studied personal development, I've started online marketing. I've now recently started with mindset, everything just to give me an edge in business and in life. Um, and that's why I've started this website, is because I don't want you to go through the same struggles that I've gone through. I would rather make your learning curve a little shorter than mine was. I've been in business now for almost 7 years, and it's taken me about 6 years to get where I'm at. So I would want you to get there within 1 or 2 years. So instead of you having to spend the thousands and thousands of dollars, even though I'm in South Africa, I paid in dollars from America and Canada and all over the world, to learn from the best guys in the business. I don't want you to go through all those same learning curves. So I would rather want to help you, and that's what my promise to you is on this website. I'm gonna share all the information that I've figured out myself, that I've learned, the systems I've created inside my business that's helped me a lot. The mistakes that I've made, I've made thousands of mistakes and I probably will make 1,000 more. But you learn from your mistakes. But I always say, that's why I was willing to pay all the money. I was willing to learn from the best, because You could go and get an education from a university, which is, like I always say, book smart. But when you have to apply that practically, that's a whole different story. Until you really try and implement the things, that's when you only really see what works and what doesn't work. You see a lot of guys that offer you courses or offer you products, or just guys that are, that are knowledge guys. They read something in the book and they think, oh, that looks, or that sounds very cool. Let's just do that. But if you're not in the trenches, you're not a coach yourself, or you're not a business owner yourself, I'm gonna be honest, you don't really know what it's all about. So yeah, that's the main idea behind this website, and the reason why I decided to call myself FitBiz Rebel is because you know what, I've spent thousands of dollars on all these wonderful blueprints, fit business blueprints, and stuff that's supposed to take you to thousands of dollars overnight. But I'll be honest with you, most of them haven't worked for me. Yeah, it could be because I'm a little bit of a rebel and I like doing things my own way. But what I've found up until now has been able to, it's worked for me. So I'd like to share my methods with you, and I'm hoping that my unique strategies will help you take your business to the next level. So yeah, just be sure to sign up for the newsletter on this website so that you can receive all the videos. I'm going to say make this website mostly video based because I prefer that. So yeah, you're going to just have to get used to my face and listening to the knowledge that I have. So yeah, thank you for taking the time to listening to this page, or to this video, sorry, and when you have a chance, go to the Facebook page as well and just like it so you can see all my updates on there as well. Thank you for your time. Hey, Stan Vitamin, the FitBiz Rebel here, and today I wanted to talk about what type of business you would like. Now, what would your dream business look like? Have you ever thought of that? Yeah, it must sound like a very stupid question to you. So if you're new in business, it's a great way to start. Yeah, if you're not new to business and you've been in business for a while, maybe it's time to go back to a bit of the basics and have a look at this. Let's say there's two choices. You could have a business that's doing really, really well. I mean, making thousands and thousands of dollars, but you're spending 14, 15 hours every single day working in it. Now, if that's what you want with your life, great. Then that's the perfect business. That's a dream business for you. But me personally, I don't like that. I want to spend as less time as possible, or the least amount of time as possible, at the gym, working in my business, and rather focus on doing stuff on my business. Things that will take my business forward, but that is not dependent on myself. So if I'm not at my business, it could still run. It doesn't need me to be there, or it doesn't need me to coach the programs for it to be successful. I mean, last year I went to Thailand for 2 weeks and my business was running perfectly. I mean, it was even doubling in the time that I wasn't there. So for me, that's the dream type of business, but it doesn't mean it's your dream business. So the thing you need to think of is, how big do you want your business? How much time do you want to spend working in your business? I mean, do you want to spend 10, 14-hour days, or do you want to spend more time with the family? Do you want to just go in and make sure that everyone's doing their work and everything is running smoothly, or do you actually want to coach? How much time do you want to spend on coaching? And then a big thing is what's your number? I always say, what's your number? What is the amount of money that you personally, as a salary, want to take home? The amount of money that would make you happy. And if you take that in consideration, if you look at rent and that, if you have your own facility, how much money would you need to run the business so that you're actually making a profit? Then another thing to consider as well is maybe you don't want a facility. Maybe you want an outside park type of business, or just running coaching clinics at schools. Maybe you want to have an online department with it where you sell some online products and programs. You see, these are the type of things that you need to think about. Then another thing to add to that is what type of activities in fitness and business do you enjoy doing yourself? That will give you a good idea of what areas you need to focus on once you start your business. Or if you already got your business, how to maybe go back and leverage a little bit more so that you can have a simplified business and actually enjoy business again. I remember in the first 3-4 years, I freaking hated it because I was setting it up wrongly. I wasn't doing it the way I wanted to do it. I mean, obviously you have to work. If you're going to start a business, or you're in your own business, you're going to have to work hard. That's just part of life. You need to understand that. But if you're smart, you get to set up the business the way you want to set it up. I mean, I want to go on holiday for 6 months if I wanted to. If I have the money, that's what I want to do. Once again, it doesn't mean that's what you want to do. But if that's what you want to do, then you have to be sure that you know exactly what you want, what you need to get out of business, how much money you need to make, how much time you need to spend in it, what type of programs you need to offer, all those type of things, what tasks you need to actually focus on for you to take your business forward. So yeah, take the one pager that's with this video, have a look over that, fill in the questionnaires, and start looking at what type of business you really want and how you're going to move forward if you already have a business. Hey, it's Stan Vadum on the FitBiz Rebel here, and today I wanted to talk about the clients you'll be serving in your business. Now, first I want to start off by asking you, what type of training do you enjoy the most? Let's say, for instance, things like youth conditioning, performance type of training, weight loss, general fitness. Lately we have obstacle type of training, martial arts, those type of things. What is the type of training that you enjoy the most? Because obviously when you're in business, you have to look at two things. You have to look at how you're going to get the business to be profitable. So you need to offer a program that the people actually want, or that there's a market for in your society. And another thing is you need to actually enjoy it. So now I want to ask you these two questions on top of that. Is that the programs or the type of training that you enjoy, do you think there's a market for that in your area? Is there a lot of competition? Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really worried about competition. I think there's a lot of people, depending on how small your town is, that, there's a lot of people available for training, or a lot of people that need help in training. So in most cases, in most towns, there's not enough gyms or facilities or programs for all the amount of people that stay in that town. So there will always be enough clients or customers for you. So the thing is just, let's say for instance, you live in a town where there's a lot of old people staying there, and you want to offer MMA. I mean, that would just be ridiculous, because unless you have some badass old people that really want to do MMA, you're going to struggle to offer that. So that's something you need to think about. And then another question that's going to be probably a difficult one is, are you open to offering programs that you yourself don't personally enjoy coaching, just to keep the business running? Now, I'll be honest with you, if you're running your own business, you have to be open to that. You don't have to coach that yourself, but you can get a coach that can coach it. So I'll give you an example. What happened to me is this: I started off with youth conditioning. I opened up my facility, and the whole facility was mainly built around performance style training. I mean, we have all these hectic quotes against the wall about, never give up and train insane and all remain the same and all those type of things. But as we went out on, year after year, year one, things were going okay. Year two, it was going okay. Year three, things started switching, and we started seeing that weight loss was actually the area to go to. And not just general weight loss, but something I call transformation camp, which I will cover in a follow-up video. But that was actually my market. That suddenly became the market. So you know what? Even though I didn't enjoy it, I got a coach in, which was an old client that I actually helped lose a lot of weight. And I changed him into a trainer, or I asked him to become a trainer. And that's actually helped me double my business within like 10 months. Because I was open to the fact that even though I didn't enjoy doing that training myself or coaching that program myself, I was willing to get a coach in to do that for me. And because I was willing to do that, my business went to the next level. And then if you're considering that as well, you need to be able to describe your perfect customer, or as they call it, the avatar. Now, the reason why you need to do that is because when you do marketing, you need to understand exactly who you're going to market to. I mean, you can't market to the world. Now, I know one of the biggest mistakes, and everyone, I'm sure you've heard this before, is you need to niche down a little bit. Now, I think sometimes people are a bit hectic on the whole niching thing. I'm a little bit, I would say, different on that, rebellious on that, if you have to put it that way, that sometimes I allow things to happen just to see which direction it goes. So I wouldn't niche down too much. But I'll give you an example. Let's say, for instance, weight loss is the target that you're going for, even though it's not the program that you want to offer, but there's a market for it. You need to have an avatar. Now, avatars, let's say, for instance, it's a female. She's age 30, and we'll call her Julia, and she has 2 kids and a husband. You're going to give names to everyone so that they know exactly, exactly who your customer avatar is, so that you can help them and market to them directly. Because remember, there's a difference between the words that a guy uses versus the words that a female uses. And there's also a difference between someone that's 20 years old and someone that's 40 years old. The type of vocabulary that you use is different. So it's something that you need to think of in your marketing. So take the time with this, the one pager that you get with this video, go through all the questions there and find your perfect custom avatar. Give it a name or her a name, age and everything, just so you know how to move forward in your marketing and take your business to the next level. Hey, Stan Vedum on the FitBiz Rebel here, and today I wanted to chat to you about creating awareness for free. Now, as I'm sure you know by now, marketing can be quite expensive. People say do flyers, do newspaper ads, all those things. That stuff costs a crap load of money, and I don't want you to spend money on, to be honest with you, sorry for the blunt word, but spend money on shit. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give you three ways that I would say you can create awareness for free. The first thing is a social presence. You need to choose 1 to 2 social media platforms. Now, I've made this mistake in the past, and I think a lot of coaches make the mistake. Because there are so many social media platforms, they tend to want to be on all of them. I mean, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have LinkedIn, you have Instagram, you have Pinterest, you have Twitter, you have all those type of things. But what I would recommend doing is choose 1 or 2. I would say maybe 2. And what I personally use is Facebook and YouTube. Because with Facebook, obviously you can do text type of posts, and YouTube you can do the videos. Now lately you can also do videos on YouTube as well, which is doing quite well. But having a YouTube channel is also great, so I would recommend doing that as well. And then what you want to do is you want to be consistent on these platforms. On this social presence, you need to be consistent. The thing is that's why I say, don't use 3, 4, 5 different type of social media platforms, because it's impossible to be consistent on those. I mean, on Instagram you have to create a photo, then on Twitter you need to do a short little update, then on LinkedIn you have to do a different type of post, then on YouTube you have to create a video, and then on Facebook you have to write longer text. Now yes, you can do that, but if you have someone that's doing it for you, it's a different story. But if you're just starting out, or you don't have the funds to pay someone else, the best way to do it is just choose 1 or 2 and be consistent with that. Let's say for instance you choose a Monday to do motivational posts, then that's what you do. But at least then every single Monday you do that, you are consistent with that. Then the next thing I would do to create awareness for free is you offer your services for free. Now if you've seen my about video on the about page, you'll see that that's actually what I did. When I started out, and I couldn't make a name for myself and I was struggling to get my name out there, I was willing to offer my services for free. I went to my old high school, I offered them to coach some of the teams for free. In the beginning, I went to the university, offered there. All I wanted to do is, get a foot in the door. And the only way you're going to get a foot in the door is by offering a service for free. I mean, I would go to businesses in my local area, if that's what you wanted to do, and offer to train, some of the workers there for free, just to show them what you can do. And then after that, you can organize a different rate, or you can organize something for them, just so that they can take advantage of your services, because obviously you've shown to them now that you can get results and that you're not a fly-by-night, you know what you're doing. And then the last thing I would do is I would get a media contact. Now this sounds like something very stupid, but I mean, in my local newspaper I have a contact there, a journalist now that I've made a deal with, that trains at my facility for discounted trade, but we get 12 articles a year in the newspaper. So that's pretty much once a month we get an article in the newspaper. And this could be regarding our challenges that we run here, or outdoor activities that we're doing, or if we're doing something for society, or we're just having a general awards evening. He pretty much covers those stories. And that comes back to the whole social presence thing. If you're there in your face all the time, and these things don't cost you, it doesn't cost you a cent. I mean, you can even offer, I did this for a year long. I also wrote articles for the newspaper. I didn't get paid for it, but I was willing to do that because that's how you get your name out there. If people see your name all the time and they see your facility's name all the time, they will understand who you are. They'll see, surely you must know what you're talking about, because how else would you be able to get into the newspaper? So make an effort to get a contact in the media and offer them, training for free in the beginning, or a discounted rate, and then, build up a relationship so that you can get your foot in the door and get your foot in the door with other businesses, because they'll obviously have contacts with other businesses as well. So yeah, make an effort to create this awareness for free first. On the one pager that you get with this video, you will see these tips once again. Use it to your advantage and start creating awareness for free. Hey, Stan Vedum on the FitBiz Rebel here. Today I wanted to chat to you about simplification. Now, perfectionism is the killer. I myself struggle with this big time, I'll be honest with you. I tend to overthink things, I overcomplicate things because I want it to be perfect. I'll take these videos as an example. Do you know how long it's taken me to shoot these videos? Because I wanted the best lighting, I wanted this, I wanted that, I wanted the perfect setup. You know what, now I just decided, screw that, let me get it done. Because otherwise I won't get this content out and I won't be able to deliver good value to you, my subscriber, or anyone out there in the world, because I don't have the time now to get all this fancy equipment, and I don't have the money. I'll be honest with you, I don't have the money to spend thousands of dollars on fancy cameras and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I've taken that whole perfectionism thing, I've thrown it out because I wanted to get these videos done. So you need to do exactly the same thing. Don't sit back and wait for things to be perfect. Just get it done. There's an old saying that you only get paid for done. There's no point in having all these cool and fancy ideas and not taking action on them, because you won't get paid for the fancy ideas in your head. You will only get paid for what is done on paper or what is done inside your facility. Then the next thing you need to do is you need to create a flow for consistency. Now what I mean by that is you need to create a schedule that works for you. I myself, for instance, is a person that doesn't sleep a lot. So for me, actually, the best time is, let's say, 3-4 o'clock in the morning. That's when I function at my best. That's when I'm the most creative, and that's when I'm able to produce the best results. So for me, it's best to work that time of the morning. For you, you might struggle with that, or you're training a lot. So for you, it might be from, let's say, 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 2 o'clock. That's fine. Then use that time to do the most important tasks on your schedule or in your diary. Use that time. Don't try and, because, okay, let's take an example. I've made this mistake for a very long time. Is I looked at other experts because I was studying personal development. I was studying all these business type of ideas and all the different concepts. So I wanted to do it like the experts were doing it. So I was following their own schedule instead of looking at what they were doing and finding something that was fitting for myself, something that was working for me, and then adapting their style of schedule according to my times, according to my personality, or the times that I have open for myself. So you need to do something like that. Find something that works for you, create a flow, and then stick to it. If you're not going to consistent, I mean, you're expecting your clients to be consistent with their training, but if you can't be consistent in generating tasks or completing tasks, then you're not going to be successful. So to be honest with you, how can you ask your clients to be consistent if you can't be consistent yourself? And then the last one is you need to delegate. In general, business owners tend to be control freaks. They want to do everything themselves because they believe that they can do it the best. No one can do it as well as what they can. Now, this might be true. The problem with that is if you want to do everything yourself, first you're going to overwork yourself. That's the first thing. The second thing is, the problem is you're not going to take action on as many tasks as you're supposed to take action on. So I would rather delegate that task to someone that can do it 80% of the capacity that I can, but at least they're completing their task. Instead of me only completing that task in about 2 weeks' time, I get to do it now because I'm giving it to someone else. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, if you give that person an opportunity and you show them exactly how they're supposed to do it, there's a very good chance they'll be able to do it 90-95% the way you are going to do it, and then at least the task is finished. What you need to do as the business owner, you need to find the profit generating tasks, the things that actually make the most money in your business, and you need to focus on that. All the other nitty-gritty stuff you need to delegate. You need to give that to your staff, get them to do the stupid stuff like the small admin type of things, or running around or driving around picking up stuff. You need to give that to your staff. You need to focus on the profit generating tasks, and that's the only way you're going to be able to take your business to the next level. Hey, Stan Vadam on the FitBiz Rebel here. Today I wanted to talk to you about social media marketing. Now, we covered a little bit of about the social presence in how to create awareness for free video, but I wanted to cover a little bit about this once again. You need to use social media. Why? Because it's free. Yes, you do get paid advertising on Facebook and YouTube and all those type of things, but let's focus on the free part of it now. A good way to use social media to your advantage is, obviously, like I said, you need to be consistent. You need to do weekly posts. Choose 1, 2, maybe 3 days a week that you're going to post consistently. Let's say, for instance, Mondays we do a motivational post, Wednesday we do a training video, and Friday we do a nutritional tip. Just take that as an example. That's something you want to do for your business so that people can actually share those type of videos. They can share the information that you're actually giving out to the public. And that's how people see that you're out there all the time. They can see that the information that you're providing them is great, it's good content, and they will want to come and see what you're actually offering inside the gym. That's how it works. If you deliver great value for free, people are going to want to come see what you charge for, and that's how you actually get new clients. The next thing you need to do is you need to post success stories. Now, if you watch the testimonial video that I actually did, you will see I explained to you exactly how to do these type of images. You write the text on it of the exact results that this person got, and then you share it on your Facebook posts. And then the last thing you can do as well on these Facebook posts is do challenge updates. When we do our 28-day challenges, firstly we start off by saying on the challenge, you know what, we have our next challenge coming up from this date to this date, and through this we actually get a lot of clients or new members that sign up just for the challenge. And then the next thing we do is we announce how many members or how many people actually entered the challenge. And then as the weeks go by, we post updates. We put things like, we're on this amount of kilograms that the people have lost so far. They've done so many push-ups, or they've run a kilometer and they've done these type of things. People like that type of stuff. They want to see what other people are doing. You can post photos, you can post videos of people training. When people see that, they get quite intrigued about what you're doing. And that's how you get people to contact you and to find out from you. Like, how does your services work? What do you guys actually do? I've seen your videos on Facebook. I've seen your posts. It looks freaking awesome. Your stuff looks really great. Please give me some more information. So yeah, use social media marketing to your advantage. Start off by doing the free things first before you start going into the paid advertising. And I promise you, being consistent with this, you'll definitely take your business to the next level. Hey, Stan Vadam on the FitBiz Rebel here. Today I want to chat to you about Transformation Camp. Now, a lot of people have Transformation Camp and they call their programs Transformation Camp. But for me, or in my business, it means something a little bit different. Now, see, most businesses offer programs to what I call glamour clients. Those are the guys that, needs to lose less than 10 kilograms or want the six-pack abs, or the performance clients, or those type of things. The guys that are really freaking committed, that you hardly have to tell them what to do, they just do it. Now, yes, those are the cool clients to work with, and they are awesome to work with. The problem with that is, to be honest, that's probably the lower 5% of your business. The 95% of your business will be the general clients, the guys and the girls that don't really want to train, the people that are not really committed, the people that you need to motivate really, really hard to take things to the next level. Now, what I would recommend you do is look at creating a new program like Transformation Camp, or what we call Transformers. Now, Transformers are people that need to lose 20 or more kilograms. It's more like 30 kilograms or more. These are, I hate to use this word, but it's almost the people that's moving on to the obesity side of things. Yeah, the reason why I do that, or why I help these clients, I'll be honest with you, is because no one wants to help these people. Everyone wants to look and help the glamour clients because they're the easier clients. You need to firstly make a difference in the world, because I'm sure that's why you started your business. That's why you became a coach as well, isn't it? So you need to help these people because no one's helping them. They don't have the self-confidence to go to a normal gym. So they just stay at their house, or they stay at home, and unfortunately get duped into the whole cool marketing things of buying the magic pill and those type of things. So firstly, they getting fed a lot of bullshit, because they believe the marketing because they're looking for the shortcuts. They're desperate. They really, really want to make a change in their life, but they don't have someone to guide them. So that's the first reason you need to create this program. The second reason you need to create this program is because you'll make a crap load of money. I promise you. From a business standpoint, you'll make a crap load of money. I started Transformation Camp in January 2014, and by October 2014, I doubled my business. Yeah, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it really did double my business, because I was offering something that no one else was offering. No one. Finally, these people had a place to come to train. I mean, we have clients. We have one client that weighed over 300 kilograms. Now we have a couple of ones that's weighing 250 or more, 200 kilograms, 180 kilograms. I mean, those people won't go to a normal gym. They just won't. So we actually giving them a home. We're giving them a place to train where they can feel comfortable, where we have a trainer. And here's another tip for you. We have a trainer that actually lost 70 kilograms. He used to weigh 168. He now weighs about 98, around there. Now, he understands the whole process. He understands what it feels like to go through all those emotional roller coasters. So he gets to relate to them. He understands exactly what they're going through. So having him as a coach has made the massive difference, because I myself don't understand it as well, because I've never been that big, or I've never been that overweight. So getting that type of coach will help you a lot. So that's a big tip. Try and get someone like that you've gotten the results for, and then use them as your coach or your trainer. And I promise you, these people are willing to pay more. The reason why they're willing to pay more is because firstly, they won't have anywhere else to train. And secondly, they're desperate. They need the help. I mean, if they're at the point where most of them, if they don't make a change, they're going to die. So it's your responsibility as a business owner to actually help them, to make a difference in their life and actually make a difference in society, because I feel that's why you started a business. Surely that is why you started a business. If that's not why you started a business, then I'm sorry, you shouldn't keep on going on with your business. I mean, you should close your business now because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Yes, money is awesome. I mean, everyone wants to make money, but you need to make it for the right reasons. So I think start with a transformation camp. Call it whatever you want to call it. Just don't call it fat camp or something ridiculous like that, because people don't like that. Or like the biggest loser. That's the biggest lot of crap in the world, because people don't want to be a loser. Everyone wants to be a winner. So don't call it the biggest loser. So yeah, take that idea of the transformation camp. Start your own type of program. Get someone results. Use them as a coach. And I promise you, you will freaking double your business. You'll take your business to a whole new level. And another thing is you'll make a massive difference in society. So don't wait on that. Do that now. Hey, Stan Vedeman, the FitBiz Rebel here. Today I wanted to chat to you about testimonials. Now, it took me a very long time to actually realize the importance of testimonials. Now, a lot of guys have said to me in the past, you know what, use testimonials in your marketing. Use it everywhere you actually do anything. But it took me a very long time to listen to them. But when I started actually, implementing this idea about testimonials, my business exploded. I'll be honest with you. First thing you need to do is this. If you're not using it, you're stupid. I'll be honest with you. You're stupid if you're not using it. If you're not collecting testimonials from your clients, or you're not taking enough before and after photos, you're stupid. So the first thing you need to do is just take photos on a monthly basis. What we do is we do assessments every single month, and at this assessment we take photos. What you should do then is create specific folders. Let's say for instance January. You have a January folder where you have all your January photos. Then February you do exactly the same thing. So what happens then is obviously when someone starts, you'll have a before photo for that person. And then every month you'll have another follow-up photo for that person, as long as he or she stays with you. What you can do then is, you wait 2 or 3 months, or if they do get results a lot faster, obviously you're in luck because you can use it a lot faster. But then all you do is you take an image, the before and after photo, or maybe even just the after photo. You get them to hold up a certificate or whatever you decide to give them, to congratulate them on their weight loss or their performance, or whatever you're measuring with your success stories or your testimonials. And you actually just write that on the image itself. You'll see with the one pager that you get to download with this video, you'll actually see an example, 2 different images that how we created. The important thing is to obviously put your logo on there, because it's important for branding that you always have your logo on there. And then what I've also done is I've actually used these photos in a collage format and put it all over my signage. The signage that's outside the gym, as well as using these photos inside the gym. When people come in for a consultation or they come to view our gym for the first time, they get to see that people are getting results in here. So that's obviously a good thing. You want people to see that you are actually getting your clients' results, and that they should actually choose you instead of the competition. You could also put it outside on the billboards, or any type of signage that you use outside as well. You can use it there. Then another thing is those images work very well on Facebook. We use those images, and then you can share those images. What I would also do if I were you, I would get the client to write a small little testimonial in their own words of their experience with your training, how you treated them, what made them decide to join your gym instead of someone else, and just use short little clips, short little text clips of that. Put that in your post, and then get them to share it with their friends, or they put it on their own profile. And that way you'll get people to go back to your page. What you could also do is you can use the same testimonial, but ask the person to shoot a small little video, or a short little video, just inside the gym. Be sure to do it inside the gym, because then you have the same type of vibe, and people are quite excited when they're inside the gym. And then let them just tell the story, but make it short. I mean, like a minute long. That would be perfect, because people don't have a lot of time. So what you want to do is you make it a short little sweet video. You want to make it easy as possible. And the big thing is you need to ask for testimonials. Believe me, even if people get great results with you, if you don't ask them, they won't give it to you. I mean, we sometimes have to hound the people to get the testimonials from them, but it's a very, very important thing that you need to use in your marketing, because it just shows and it proves that your credibility and the results that you get in your facility. So yeah, take the one page as part of this video, have a look over that, and start creating your own testimonials, because I promise you, using this in your marketing will give you a lot of credibility in your area and show people that you know what you're doing and you are actually getting results. Hey, Stan Vedem on the FitBiz Rebel here. Today I wanted to chat to you about accepting payments. In the beginning, when I started with my business, I was all about, just pay whenever you can, or just give me, cash. Cash, most people prefer cash, but at the end of the day, I'll be honest with you, accepting cash just leaves you up um, to being conned. I think that's the easiest way of saying it. I know it sounds bad, but that's the truth. People, what happens is if you leave it up to them either doing an EFT, which is an internet transfer on their own, or actually giving you cash, you have to wait for them to come in or for them to take the action. Now, I'll be honest with you, I give people the benefit of the doubt, and I know that how busy life can get. So what tends to be is them paying you is not the first thing on their mind. It might be the first thing and the number one thing on your mind, because obviously you're running a business, but for them it's not the same. So we tend to forget that, they're not going to just pay us, because if it's not what they're thinking about, they're just not going to do it. So by having an automatic debit order, now obviously in your country it could be something different, whatever they call it, but it's when it's an automatic debit off your account. What you need to do is you obviously have a supplier. Once again, it would be difficult for me to tell you exactly who to use, because it depends on which country you're in. So I'm sure you can just have a look at obviously your bank or which type of service you can use for that. But automatic debits is the best way to actually move your business forward. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I saw a double. I actually doubled my business in a couple of months' time, because suddenly I was receiving the money that the people were actually supposed to pay me. Because you can have it on your Excel sheet or whatever you use, the amount of clients that you have. But believe me, if those people don't pay, that's not the real money that you're actually making. So let's say for instance, I'm going to use rands now because obviously I'm in South Africa. Um, but say you make 20,000 rand a month. That's your income supposedly, because that's the amount of clients that you have. But you're actually only receiving 10,000 rand because half of the people come in late, or they're not paying at all, or they're just staying away, because you know how people are. I mean, I've had this in the past where people feel this way: if they don't come to train, they don't need to pay. But it doesn't work like that. That's why if you have an automatic debit system where the money automatically goes off their account, I have 2 dates on mine. I have the 1st of the month and the 10th of the month, just because with me it tends to be like the 1st of the month. Everyone that works for someone that earns a salary, their debits go off the 1st of the month, and people that are running their own business, they're actually waiting for money to come in. So the 10th works better for them. So yeah, that's the 2 dates that I have. But automatic debits is definitely the way to go, because you're not leaving it up to chance. You're not putting it in their hands. You're actually making it easier for them, because you're letting the money go off the account by itself, so that it's not another thing that they need to worry about. So yeah, if people are against that, which we've had, well, I mean, we've faced some resistance on that as well. Just remember, it's your business. You need to do the things you want to do, the things the way you want to do it, because otherwise, if you're going to leave it up to them, you're going to struggle in business. It's your rules. Remember, you don't want an average business, so it's your rules. Do it the way you want, and using automatic debits is definitely the way to go. So yeah, try that. Stop taking cash. If you want to take cash, you can do that, but don't make that the majority of your business. I would say if you take cash, 10% of your business, the other 90 needs to be on automatic debits. And another thing I've also learned is in some cases, I would recommend, if you can get the money up front, that's even better, because people would sign up for a contract after 12 months and they'll still try and get out of it. Once again, it depends on what the laws are in your country or in your state, but in our country, there's still a way of getting out of a contract. Even if you did sign it and you feel like you don't want to continue with it, there's a way of getting out of it, which for you as a business owner is bad, because obviously you're depending on a 12-month income from that person, but you're not actually going to get it. So if you can get away of that person maybe paying 6 months ahead of time for their program or whatever, that's awesome. Because let's say after 3 months they're getting tired of it, or they, sorry to say, but get lazy and they don't want to continue with you, then at least you do have the money already. And another thing is this: even if people pay up front, a better thing for them as well is it will make them more committed because they have a lot of skin in the game. The money's there, the money's already been paid, so they're the one that's going to lose out. You're not the one that's going to lose out. So they're obviously going to want to train with you harder and more because they've already paid the money. So yeah, try that today, and I'll bet you that will take your business to the next level.